Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here. So today I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel, and this is going to be my life series. I'm basically going to do pick a different topic each time, and each topic is going to be in 3 different videos. So the first one that I'm starting today is going to be love life, and then each after that I'll do topics like I could do law life and talk about my law things. Basically each section is going to be 3 different videos. The first one is going to be my top 5 books, my second will be my top 5 films, and my third will be my top 5 TV shows. It will be about the different life topic that I've chosen. So like I said, I'm starting with love life. So today this is the first part of that, and this is going to be my top 5 books about love. Starting with love because who doesn't want love? I think the thing with love is that it can be so many different things. It can be relationships, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be animals, anything. It can be, there's so many different types of love. So I will get started and show you my top 5 books about love. I chose a really bad time to film this video because all the kids are now coming out of school because it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and they're going to be loud, so I feel like this is going to take me a while to edit. So number 1 is going to be Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I've talked about this book quite a bit on my channel. It's one of my favourite books of all time, and actually this is probably my favourite classic. And this is the Oxford World's Classics edition, which I think is really lovely. Basically this book is about Jane Eyre, who is orphaned and lives with her kind of aunt, who's not very nice, and her cousins, and they are very neglectful. She doesn't really see a lot of love in that part of her life. Then she is taken away to school, and again, not a lot of love is shown to her. Then she meets Mr. Rochester when she goes to become the governess of his ward, and this book is so beautiful. I absolutely love this. I feel like this book is really full of that kind of passionate love. Like, there is so much passion in this book, all different types. This also has family love in it because well, I can't really go into it because I don't want to spoil anything. But in learning to deal with her kind of childhood experiences, she learns to love Mr. Rochester, and at the end, my favourite thing is that they kind of overcome it. I obviously won't go too much into it, but I think this book is a really great example of love, and I love it, and I will continue reading this for as long as I live, probably. I love it. See what I did there? My second book is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, another book that I always talk about, but I feel like this book has 2 different types of love in it that I really enjoy. The first type is like the first love. Kath, the main character in this, has never really had a boyfriend. She's not really ever had that kind of relationship with anyone or ever been that close to somebody. But this in this book she meets Levi, who is kind of the first person that she kind of admits that she has feelings for, and it's that kind of first love that I think is really sweet. I feel like first love is often the most naive love, because you don't really know what like you don't really know what you want, or kind of what you expect, I suppose. I also think I myself personally feel like first love is not generally love that will last forever. That is obviously just my opinion, but I think that first love is often because you're so naive when you go into that situation. But what I think is really nice about this is it doesn't really matter if this lasts forever, it's just really lovely in the moment, which I think is important. The other type of love that's in this that I really love is familial love, and this book is about Kath and her twin sister Wren. And it's about their relationship and them growing up, because when they were younger, you know, twins, people expect them to be together all the time, to do the same things, to, you know, never want to be apart from each other. And this is kind of them growing apart, or like being their own separate person, but still being sisters and twins and best friends at the same time. I also really love Kath's relationship to her dad in this. I'm really close to my dad, so I feel like this book is really important. And I feel like their relationship, like she really cares for him and is worried for him when she's not around, which I actually kind of feel like I kind of feel sometimes, which I really love. I think this book is a really beautiful representation of first love and familial love, and therefore it is on my list. The third book I have was actually my favourite book in 2016, and that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah, which is a book set in World War II. This book follows two sisters, Isabel and Vianne, who both have very different personalities, very different characteristics, and yet there is a lot of love between them. At times I feel like they kind of lose that a little bit because they're not really sure, like they feel like they are themselves and they don't like really connect so well with the other, but in the end it's kind of about, you know, you're still family even though you are different people. And I feel like in families we're not all going to be the same. We're not all going to be the same person and have the same traits. We're not going to go about things in the same way, and this book really just emphasises that. It's beautiful and about bravery and love, and I love this. I also really love the relationships in this book. It's interesting to see how different people talk to like each other and the love that they have for their fellow humans in helping them. So because obviously this is about the World War, so yeah, this is really beautiful and I love it. The fourth book I have is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, and if I've mentioned this book before, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of the writing in this book, but the relationships and the message behind it I really love. So I did want to include it. Basically this is about twins again, Jude and Noah, and they are really close as children, and then something happens which drives them apart to the point where they're pretty much no longer speaking. And I think the nice thing about this book is it shows from the kind of other side of it, so it shows you the kind of what can happen when love is not there anymore, and how people come across, like how people come about it and how people can change. But this book is so much about love. All this, I mean, I can't say much else because this book is such a difficult book to explain. But this is so complicated and there's so many different sort of threads of love in it. And I think if you read this, you'll know what I mean. It's a really lovely book. I just wasn't a big fan of the writing, but again, like I said, the message and the kind of love in this is brilliant. And then the last book that I want to mention is House Rules by Jodi Picoult, which is another book I read last year and absolutely loved. This follows a woman named Emma who has two children, both boys, and her oldest boy, Jacob, suffers from Asperger syndrome, which I didn't really know a lot about before I read this book, but this to me showed love in a different way, because somebody with Asperger syndrome struggles to show love in certain ways. They don't have the same relationship with people because they don't have the same capacity for emotion, I think, as other people do. They also kind of think about things in a different way. So basically this book is about Jacob, who is accused of murdering his tutor, who helps him with his like social skills tutor, and he has one relationship with his tutor. He loves her, but his relationship with his mum is the thing that I find so interesting in this, because his mum at times thinks he's guilty, but she loves him so much that she would do anything in order to help him and stop him from being put in that situation. This book is absolutely lovely. I think this is possibly one of the most heart-wrenching yet heartwarming books I've read, like at the same time. It's really sensitively done, which I think is really great, and this book is just so well written. I love Jodi Picoult anyway, but this book particularly is one that I think deals with love in such a wonderful way. So that is my top 5 books about love, and let me know in the comments below what your favourite books about love are. I'd love to get some recommendations. Next time on the Love Life, I will be talking about my top 5 films about love, so get talking if you want me to include some of your favourites as well, and I will speak to you guys next time. Thumbs this video up if you like it and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!